Welcome to lesson 7 of the Fall Watercolor-Themed Collections Challenge. I'm Chris, and I'll be taking you on a journey with me as I build my collections this fall with my watercolor artwork and add it to my new POD shop. Plus, later on in the challenge, I'll be discussing how I keep my stress levels low while I use my paintings for useful things all winter long. So stay tuned for that. Last week, I started strategizing, choosing colors, and getting all my tools and materials together to start my holiday collection. I found collections to be an amazing way to showcase my art, and I'm super inspired for this one. If you missed that or any of the other lessons, you can click on the screen to watch them now. This week, I'll begin the sketching and painting process using the colors I chose and the theme I created last week to keep me on track. I'll be using my Viviva Colors color sheets to paint all my elements because the colors are so vibrant. And as I mentioned, this paint set is 100% sustainable, so I like to use it most of the time. I'm starting with some apples painted in a pinkish red called Burgundy in the Spring color sheet set. I'm using a flat brush for this so I can capture the edges of the apples with some sweeping circular motion. Then I'll fill in the centers, and I'll even add a second color called Brick from the fall set to add some dimension on a few of these. Next, I'm going to start my mini pumpkins. These are inspired by some cute little pumpkins I have at home right now. Apples could pretty much work in any seasonal collection, but pumpkins are generally associated with fall and winter, so they'll be a great addition for context. I'll paint those in a very similar way, but I'm going to make them a bit more squatty than the apples. And I also want to add some brush variation to show the pumpkin sections instead of leaving them blank like I did in the Halloween collection. This will make these pumpkins differ from those. Plus, it's fun to try out different techniques. Now I'm going to switch my brush to the medium round one for more control as I start painting some robins. Out here in the desert, we have the Western robin, which is more toned down in color, but still has that beautiful peachy orange belly that they're so famous for. I didn't plan this, but I'm going to add a different view of the robin just for some variety. I know that robins are more associated with springtime, but depending on how cold or warm the winter is, robins will stay out here for quite a bit of the season. Now I'll pencil in some eyes and feet for the robin, but I really want to wait to finalize those elements digitally so they're nice and crisp. Now on to a new page. I considered painting on the back side of this one, but then it's a bit more complicated to photograph, especially if I want to get all these elements in one photo. Plus, once it's painted on, the paper has depressions on the back side, which I think will be really distracting and mess with my photography by creating shadows where I don't want them. So I'll start on a new page and paint some dark brown stems for the pine sprigs and let those dry. I'm moving on to my stars with a brick color that is from the fall set. I want these to tie into the brick color I'm using on the other elements, and I think this works really well. I don't want much pencil because I don't want to have to clean it up digitally once I'm done painting, but I have to admit painting good stars from scratch is not the easiest thing for me. I think as I went though, I developed a little bit of a technique going back to how I learned to draw stars in school, and that helped a lot. Overall, I really want these to feel really organic and imperfect, and I definitely accomplished that. If some of these uneven shapes bother me later, I can either choose not to use them or use the warp tool in Procreate or Illustrator to alter the shape a bit. Next, I'll create some smaller round shapes for holly berries. I think I like the fact that there's a white space in the middle, and I think I'll just continue with that with all of these. So it looks like there's a bit of a reflection on them. I think I might need one more simple element though. So I'm going to paint some pine needles to just add some variety and some simplicity. I'll paint some small gingerbread houses on a new page. That will also bring in more of the holiday theme to this entire collection. I'm just going to paint the basic shapes and add some detail later digitally. I really hope you enjoyed watching my painting process, and I can't wait to share what I do with these in next week's lesson. For now, let's see what beautiful work was shared in the community. This beautiful watercolor acorn pattern. Sherry did some late Halloween paintings of this scene of a witch in the woods and some beautiful witch accessories. Elizabeth continues to get some drawing and painting done during lunchtime, and Yuta finished some Halloween Procreate art as well as some new holiday icons. And speaking of the holidays, an Instagram friend of mine, Sharon Foster, challenge and wanted to share the new holiday art collection she's working on for her very successful Etsy shop. I love how she's tying in all the colors and themes so they work well together. Beautiful job, Sharon. If you have work you want to share with us or get feedback on, or maybe even see in one of the lessons, you can join us in our kind and helpful challenge community. I put the link below in the description for you. If you enjoy this video, I hope you'll click the like button, click the subscribe button, and tap the notification bell so you don't miss any new lessons as they come out. And I'll see you here next week for lesson 8.